on the superior leg. And if you notice the reinforced thumb presses, and my fingers are just relaxed and loose. And this is, if you looked at your hands, it makes a little bit of a W shape. So they're just relaxed and hanging out. So we did our line 1, circling above the hip, line 2, circling right in front of the lesser trochanter, line 3, and circling just below. And we move to frame the back. And I'm going to start with palm pressing. Again, I'm superior to the spine, and I'm mainly pressing along the spinal erectors, the bigger bunch of muscles that you'll feel along the side of the spine. And I'm just going to palm press up and back, palm walk up and back, reinforced rolling thumbs up the lamina groove, just like we did in level 1 and level 2. But then we're going to thumb walk back down. And with a reinforced thumb, I'm going to circle right on the iliac crest in 3 points. And then I'm going to palm press up and back, palm walk up and back, and then I'm going to gather up the shoulder. Interlace my fingers, go ahead and rest your arm. And make sure when you're ready to work these 2 low back points that your knees are wide and you're facing their back. And I'm just going to pull the shoulder back towards me far enough that I can get my elbow down into low back point 1. And I'm going to press straight forward with my elbow while I pull back on the shoulder. Move the elbow up to point 2, same thing, push and pull, and back to low back point 1. And then just bring the arm up, and we'll stop right there. Okay. Lever the arm 3 times. Sit behind them with your knees at the height of their shoulders and bring them back. For the medial arm, where we did a warm-up, palm walk in, palm walk out, palm walk in, follow down, running thumb up, and then palm walk in, palm walk out, palm walk in, follow down, and then just that little gentle quick stretch and release. And place the arm back up on the hip. And we'll do another warm-up sandwich on the lateral arm. So palm walk in, palm walk out, palm walk in, follow down, running thumb, palm walk in, palm walk out, palm walk in, follow down. Sit down and do the hand. What are the steps of the hand? 6 points. Press the palm. 5 lines. Press the palm. 4 lines. Twisting the fingers. Point hoku, point hoku.
And wrist rotation.
Rotate the wrist 10 times each direction. Lock and pull, soft, firm, soft. Finger twist. Circle and pull the fingers.
Stretch the fingers.
Stretch the fingers. Grab the fingers, lift the elbow to place the hand right over the ear. If this nose is not facing forward but is kind of up toward the ceiling, have them look down a little bit toward the floor. Press 3 times, tiger's jaw, one hand hacking, knock 3 times, and release this position by pushing the elbow forward and windmilling it back. And we'll stop right there. Bent arm, press on the head. So we did our 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One hand hacking. Knock 3 times. And now I'm going to push her elbow forward and windmill her arm back. Continue back until she's in the spinal rotation position. and I'm going to do a spinal rotation. But I'm going to do it a little bit different than we did before. We're just going to add a few variations. So first is big breath. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to step across. My heel's on the floor here to steady myself, so I'm not putting my weight down onto her leg. I'm going to just wrap my foot around just below the knee. Both hands on the shoulder. Big breath. And then take her out of the rotation. Next, I'm going to grab the ankle and I'm going to reel her leg in until I can get a hold of the knee. But my fingers are pointing back towards me, so I'm kind of wrapped around. The leg is in the crook of my elbow. Once I'm here, I'm going to bring her arm back behind me and support out her shoulder. With one knee up, I'm going to work 2 points on the upper thigh. And I do that, I'm on my tucked toes, I'm sitting back on my heels, so my body's vertical. And with my pelvis, I'm going to press straight forward while I pull back with my arms. 1, 2, 1. Then I'm going to put that knee down and pivot a little bit and bring the other knee up and place that in low back point 1. Make sure I'm sitting upright, not leaning forward. And I'm going to press with my knee from the hips forward. 1, 2, 1. And put her leg back down. This is called Ram's bow. And the reason it's called that is that this is actually representing the bow as if you were to do archery. You've got a bow and arrow. And the bow is her body from the knee to the shoulder. And my knee, my leg is the arrow. And so I want to position myself so I'm shooting from the apex of the bow. And so that's why after I do these first 2 points, I'm going to pivot. Because when I do the low back, she's going to go a little further. And I still want to be kind of aiming down the center of that bow. 1, 2, 1.
Those are the same points on the back that we normally do.
Yes, same low back points that we've been talking about. Into her leg. I'm going to pin her hip with my knees. Actually, it's the shins. And grab my arm right here. Big breath in. And exhale.
Oh, man.
Now, when I do that, I'm really not pulling up with my back. I want to use my butt to do that work. Just like we have when you do the cross leg pull-up and the straight leg pull-up, it's the same kind of move that we're doing so that you don't hurt yourself. Make sure you're not looking down, that you've got your knees bent, your chest forward, and that you pull on your exhale. Good for them to exhale too, but absolutely make sure you're exhaling. If you're not breathing, you'll run out of gas.
So you kind of prepare them for that and just take a breath in.
Just coach the breath, yeah. Okay.
Would you be okay?
Yeah, I use this one.
Yeah. For someone who is more flexible and that's fine.
Could be, maybe I want to give them a little extra, maybe I'm smaller than they are or something and I don't have enough strength. Other is, if I have a really, really large person, so large that I actually can't reach across their mass to actually get my hand over here on the knee for the regular. So then I don't want to wreck myself. So I'm just going to use the next strongest, most logical thing, which is just get my foot up there. And again, when you're doing that, don't just step onto the leg. Put your heel on the floor and get your foot into position so you're not having an impact with all your body weight. So we did that. Always take them out of spinal rotation if you put them in. Make do our Ram's bow. Come back here. All right, 1, 2, 1. For flow, of course, we just touch the points. 1, 2, 1. Come down. Come in for the standing lift. Grab my arm right here. Big breath. And exhale. Okay, now I'm going to grab the other arm, not the one I just dropped. I'm going to grab this arm and the opposite leg, which is the one that's straight. So I've got his right hand and his left leg. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to stand with my outside foot parallel to his low back, even with low back points 1 and 2. I'm going to get my heel right in low back point 1. I'm going to bend deeply and try to keep my torso upright. And then I'm going to, on my exhale, lift, 1, pivot the heel over, 2, and back to point 1.
So you pivoted like that, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is, I don't want to put my foot on his floating ribs. They're vulnerable. My body weight could easily snap those off if I lose my balance and go towards him. And you can actually hold on to my arm here. So I find the point with my heel, I bend deeply, and I lift with my leg. So what I'm not doing is bending down and trying to pull up, because that spells disaster. Now I'm going to pick up the leg on the same side as the arm I'm holding. Again, I want to stand